morning all. My name is Jackson Rickford, and today I'm going to be covering the concept of culture and how it shapes our actions and behaviour, as well as my findings when comparing Australian and Canadian culture using Hofstede's 6 cultural dimensions. According to Oxfam in 1997, a global citizen is someone who is aware of the wider world and has a sense of his or her role within it. From my understanding, a global citizen is any member of our society who positively impacts the worldwide community. We all need to be understanding of all cultures and not only acknowledge their differences, but accept and respect them. Using Hofstede's 6 cultural dimensions, I was able to analyse just what made Australia and Canada such similar nations. The 2 main cultural dimensions I focused on were indulgence and long-term orientation. Although Australia and Canada are on opposite ends of the globe and live in very different climates to one another, there are many more similarities than you would think. As you can see on this graph representing where Canada and Australia stand on Hofstede's 6 cultural dimensions, both Canadians and Australians show evidence of being polychronic cultures. These trends are all quite common for many Western countries and show these countries are all about living in the now. Looking at the high indulgence and low long-term orientation proves that success is expected quickly, and if results don't show fast, it's time for a change. Working in a blue-collar pub on the outskirts of the Steel City, Newcastle, Australia, I served some of the most stereotypical rigid-edge Australians you could picture. Tradies come charging through the doors from 3 o'clock onwards in search of nice cold beer, and even early on a Friday, as keeping your employees back on this day is one of the most un-Australian things you can do. Being an Aussie from Newcastle myself, I have no issues understanding the local slang, fast-paced para-language, and often a heavier country accent. I can also handle taking the mickey with the boys, even when it is occasionally on me. I understand that this is something we do around here and can deal any banter right back. These low context, easygoing, polychronic mannerisms could be very easily misinterpreted by someone of another culture, particularly if they were from a country of high context culture. My culture's laid back attitude allows me to show more of my personality at work and express my emotions not only with colleagues, but customers too. My current workplace values that I have a personality similar to our locals that allows patrons to be able to relate to me and build up a relationship that keeps them coming back. If I were working in a high-class monochronic type workplace that was very strict, my larrikin behaviour would not be tolerated and I would be out the door in no time. During my first few months working in a bar in Alberta, Canada, I found myself repeating what I was saying constantly and even translating my Australian English to Canadian English. I had to really concentrate on what my customers were saying to me as I was having a hard time understanding their accents, as were they with mine. To overcome this challenge, I adapted by slowing down my speech and really focusing on my pronunciation, something us Aussies are usually quite lazy with. I would also often use kinesic communication by pointing or using other hand gestures to assist in cross-cultural communication. This was also handy in addition when you simply could not hear your customer. These 2 countries are very passionate about their respective sports, ice hockey in Canada and any code of football in Australia. The low context culture these countries share and the passion for sport often dictates what the working week will look like. For example, in Canada, if the Flames playoff game went to triple overtime the night before and didn't finish till late, Canadian bosses may be more accepting of why you were late the next day, or in some cases would shut the office down entirely. Same in Australia. Our government understands the importance of the football grand final weekend and made the following Monday a public holiday. This would be unheard of in monochronic countries such as Germany that believe work comes first all the time and strictly follows set plans or agendas. Conducting business with Canadians is also very similar to business with Australians. Canadians value eye contact, proxemics, and minimal kinesic behavior necessary. Unlike countries such as Japan, where long pauses of silence are valued for processing thoughts and words exchanged, long gaps of silence in Canada are considered kind of awkward. Study up on your NHL to fill in those spaces and avoid topics such as religion or politics. Justin Trudeau is a very controversial politician, and his name in the wrong meeting could break any deal. Also avoid the use of your local slang in foreign countries. It will often fly right over the person you're talking to's head or be completely misinterpreted. I know that firsthand. Thank you for bearing with me through that presentation. I appreciate it.